Okay, so this podcast is essentially...
Oh, what is this podcast, Matthew?
Michael, not Matthew.
Michael. Should we all have Lost Boys names?
Michael.
Yeah.
So, now, this podcast... What?
Star.
Now, this podcast is essentially a Halloween special, which didn't fall on Halloween, isn't it, Phil?
Yeah,
is that what you
Halloween
wanted to do?
weekend,
That's what you want to do, isn't it?
Ouch.
That's what I wanted to do. But we've also got a... what do we call you?
Fireman.
A guest. I'm a guest.
A guest fireman. Yeah, we are, yeah.
Yeah, keeping in the tradition of Halloween, we've got a fireman
Fire.
on the show.
Yeah, a London fireman.
Firefighter.
And you've got some stories, haven't you, Simon? You've got some stories. We're not going to go into them now, but you've got some stories. Have you got any
stories?
Have you got ghost stories as well?
Got any fire-related ghost stories?
Let me think about that.
Yeah.
I'm not prepared for that.
No, I
but
know.
I shall have a think.
Yeah, good.
While you ever think
Good.
about that, I'll
Yeah.
tell you all about my my week when I met the Lost Boys.
Amazing.
I was going to tell you about it, so I was going to tell you how it came about. So basically, I was aware of this thing for like about 6 months or something, however long they announced it for. So it's these guys, a few guys that have they've started doing like their own sort of conventions. I think they worked on the convention circuits, like Comic-Con and stuff like that, and I think they still do. But they decided to start doing their own. So they've got a horror one. I think it was the first one last year. I might be wrong about that. I was just hearing people talk at this one that I went to, and a lot of people were just amazed about
What was
how
it called?
much bigger it has grown. For the Love of Horror. And they're also doing another one soon called For the Love of Sci-Fi. Sorry. So they've got a lot of celebrity guests coming in and stuff like that. So it's the first time that anyone ever had got the Lost Boys together, like for the cast, all in one place, ever since the film was made.
That's crazy as well, because it was in Manchester as well.
Yeah.
You'd think it would be in America, or at least London. But
Santa Carla. I mean, come on,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
a made-up place.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I was keeping my eye on it, and I could see that they were announcing guests as it went along, and then obviously the big one was that they got Kiefer Sutherland there, and I was still thinking, nah, I won't bother with this. And then you have to to meet these people, get autographs, you have to pay for them and stuff like that, and the photos and what have you. And I was just keeping an eye on it, and then just about 3 days before, I was like, the fuck am I thinking? Of course I've got to go to this. This is like I've been.
Well, you asked me to go, didn't you? As well,
I was just suddenly like, what the hell have I been thinking for
Yeah.
this time? I've been obsessed with this film since I was a little kid. And one reason I got especially obsessed with it because I thought I found the book before the movie came out. So it was a book based on the film, right? And I remember reading it and like where we were from on the Isle of Wight. Well, they do like a novelization of the films. Well, they used to. They don't do it so much now. Well, no, it's like a little novel, right, based on the screenplay. And I remember reading it before any of us were aware of it. So I felt like, this is like my thing. You know what I mean? Yeah. Lost Boys book, and then I was just, then at some point I saw the trailer afterwards and waiting for the film to come out, and then of course everybody loved it, but I just felt like this was my. I fucking found this before I knew you lot, and so I went up there. So it was Manchester, and just took the train up just for the day. It was on for 2 days. It was really good. It was really good. Like, I'm so happy I went. Not only did they have like a few of the Lost Boys there, and I probably should put this playing that we can see what's going on. They also had like the cast from the original It movie, and there's me and Jason Patrick.
Yeah.
They also had the cast from the original It movie, and they had a few random actors like the guy from Saw, stuff like that.
Oh.
I got my jacket signed by the Lost Boys, my leather jacket, and I thought that was a genius idea because it's now it's the coolest fucking jacket in the world as far as I'm concerned, right?
You won't be wearing it, though, will you?
The fucking Lost Boys.
You won't be wearing it. You
And,
should have wore it tonight. What are you doing?
I'm not ever wearing it.
Boys t-shirt.
I know,
never gonna
but you
wear
should
it.
be wearing the jacket
No,
tonight.
I'm never going to wear that thing, man. That's going in the cupboard forever, basically. And every now and again, I'll
Frame
just
it.
take it out and masturbate over it. But yeah, it was so good. I met all of them lot. I didn't see Kiefer Sutherland there. He was there on the second day, but then he was playing in London a couple of days later, and I was like, I want to roll by this point. I'm going to go watch Kiefer Sutherland, right? And at that point, just before I was walking out the door...
What was he doing in London?
He plays country music. He was touring with his band. Just before I walked out the door, I thought, might as well take the jacket with me. Why wouldn't I? I wasn't really thinking that there was much of a chance of meeting him, but I was like, okay, man, I'm just going for this now. If I get the jacket signed by Kiefer Sutherland, I've already got it signed by 4 of the others, and then I met him after that and got
You did
that
it for
signed.
free?
Yeah, he was like hammered when he came. He came stumbling out. I was waiting for him, and for like a little teenage girl, and or middle-aged woman.
Waiting
for a
middle-aged girl.
Yeah, I was going to say there's quite a lot. Of, there's quite a lot of older women.
Middle-aged woman. Yeah, and so yeah, he came out. He was hammered. God bless him. Like, but he was really, really nice. Like, really polite, and seemed like a really humble character. But yeah, it was great. It was great, and lots of they had like the convention. It wasn't just that. They had lots of Q&As and stuff, and which for me was just soaked it up. They were just talking about that film and lots of geeky facts about it.
Did you ask any questions?
I didn't. I had a really geeky question that I wanted to ask, but I thought it was just too much.
What was it?
I thought this is beyond. They're going to be like, who the fuck's this guy? And it wasn't about like okay, they got Jason Patrick up there talking, and they were asking things. I had a really just specific geeky question that I just thought he's not going to. So basically, I know a few people that have been to Santa Cruz, right, to visit the locations of where that place is, where it was filmed. And everything's exactly the same there. It's like the place is stuck in the 80s still, right? They've got the whole boardwalk. There's like an 80s arcade. It looks exactly the same, from at least from the videos and pictures that I've seen. And a lot of time, people go to this bridge. And a friend of mine recently went there, a couple of them actually.
When it's cloudy.
Oh, and they think that they took pictures of it. And I remember hearing somewhere that it wasn't actually filmed at that bridge.
The one they were hanging on.
Looks exactly the same.
The one they're hanging on.
Yeah.
Let go, Michael.
Yeah.
This is what I was going to ask. I was like, where was it filmed? Was it actually filmed on that bridge?
Be one of us.
Because I've heard the director, Joel Schumacher, say that it wasn't actually filmed there. But people still go flocking to this bridge like a pilgrimage, right? When they go to look at the locations of that film. Anyway, I've got a book that actually answered that question, like a really good book on the Lost Boys that just came out. It was like a limited edition thing. It's like the guys interviewed everybody that was involved.
What's this
in
question?
So the point is that it wasn't filmed on that bridge. That was a thing I was going to ask.
But you knew it already?
No, I found that out like a day later reading this book.
Right.
And I just thought, that's not really a question to ask Jason Patrick. He's talking about his career, stuff like that. And I'm not going to be like, was that the actual bridge
convention?
Yeah.
Expect questions from Lost Boys.
Yeah, maybe.
They want that, surely.
Right. Well, yeah, I wonder because he's like, him in particular, Jason Patrick, he's always sort of...
He's done a lot, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has. And he was reluctant.
What's he done?
He was reluctant to make that film. He doesn't do so much...
What was the movie with Brad Pitt and...
Yeah. What was that, Sleepers?
Sleepers, yeah.
Yeah, that was a
In New
pretty
York.
heavy one.
I only really know him for Lost Boys. That's the funny thing. I don't really know him for much else.
Yeah, he is talking there, look. Yeah.
But he's quite a big actor still then.
Yeah, I mean, he's not making the biggest things.
No.
He shows up and stuff.
A couple of TV shows, I think, but
yeah.
not
Because you're actually a big fan of Lost Boys as well, aren't you?
I love Lost Boys.
Is it your favourite film?
It's up there. It's up there. I love 80s movies. I remember coming back. When I was living in London, which I don't do anymore, I was living in Golders Green. I remember before we had DVDs weren't around, it was VHS time. I remember it was coming on TV at about 10 o'clock. And I travelled back from the Isle of Wight, got into Golders Green bus station, and then ran.
Was this before VHS or what?
That VHS was around, but DVDs definitely were.
Right.
And it was on TV. It was coming on TV, and I ran about half a mile because I was waiting for a bus, and a bus didn't show up. So I ran so I could get home in time to start watching Lost Boys.
All right.
And I'd seen it already once or twice before that, but I just absolutely loved it.
Your favourites were the Frog Brothers, weren't they?
You know what? I would say, Michael. Michael was my favourite.
Michael was my favourite.
He was into his training.
He's everyone's favourite.
He was getting buff. It was at the time I wanted to start doing weights. He was He was iconic, wasn't he? Really.
Yeah.
And he got the girl.
Well, yeah. I should just bring it up also. So I'll just say who was there. So he played Dwayne. That was the Billy Worth, who was the actor that played Dwayne in the Lost Boys. The one with the dark-haired guy. There was...
Death by...
Yeah, him.
Death by Stereo.
Yeah. There was Alex Winter, who's obviously in the Bill and Ted films, and he was talking a bit about that.
He's quite famous.
Yeah, he looked in pretty good shape, actually, to be honest with you. Like Alex Winter, he looked
Look at
well.
him playing there.
Yeah, Tim Capello was there. That was like a highlight of the thing.
And I still believe.
People went nuts for that, man. That was great. I really enjoyed that. Alex Winter was talking about the next Bill and Ted film, and I think he let something slip. Not him, Alex Winter. About Bill and Ted 3, he said something along the lines of like, we're playing against ourselves. So I would assume that it's a whole time travel thing. So there'll probably be like a young Bill and Ted visiting the now.
What, CGI, Bill and Ted? Younger?
Yeah, well, a de-aged Bill and Ted. Bill and Ted.
Bill and Ted's all about time travel anyway, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So that's got to be it, isn't it? They're going to be...
He's dead.
The young ones. Phill? He's dead, yeah. Yeah, the guy that played Paul. So that was who was there. And
who?
Just them lot. The guy that played Paul. Can't remember his name.
Blonde vampire.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah. So this guy, he was there also.
The guy died in the bath with the
him.
holy water.
Yeah. How did the guy who played the vampire die?
I don't know.
I
can't remember. Yeah.
The guy who played the vampire.
The blonde vampire we're talking about.
He was in the bath.
No, not in the film.
Told you, it was holy water.
Not garlic. Oh, is it garlic water?
Holy water with garlic in it as well.
Yeah,
garlic bulbs.
It's true.
I don't know how he died for real. I didn't know he was dead.
But yeah,
what an amazing experience, man!
It was great, man. It was just
when I saw that, I was so jealous.
Really?
Yeah, properly.
Yeah, I was just like amazed that I was actually considering not going. It was really enjoyable, and I would just go again to just say that these guys that organised it was really well organised. Probably I enjoyed it more than Comic-Con. I've only been to one Comic-Con. We went to it in the summer, but it was like more condensed. People were more sort of there for the same reason. It was a good
Comic-Con
vibe.
for me was like, it felt like you were kind of looking. It was just the people who were there loving it. I was enjoying their little faces, dressed up as like little elves and things like that, and they were just. Yeah, it was just like nice to see people like enjoying themselves in that
Christmas
kind of, not caring what people think.
Yeah.
Oh, there's my jacket. Yeah, that's fucking awesome, man.
I went to. I've never been to a Comic-Con, but I was doing a course. In my job, we rescue people from lifts quite a lot, and we don't really get any training in it though. So they started then producing training for us, and they did it at the Excel Centre, and it was on the same day they had a Comic-Con on there.
Okay.
And I had no idea this was going on.
Yeah.
So I'm travelling there in the morning, and there's all these unusual sort of manga characters on the train. Like, what's going on here?
You dressed as a fireman?
I was dressed as Sonic the Hedgehog.
Okay.
Yeah. But I had no idea. That was just a coincidence. And then we got there, and it was in a different part of obviously the Excel Centre. And then at lunchtime, we were out hobnobbing. They ring fenced them, hobnobbing. Talking, getting involved.
Yeah.
But they were ring fenced. All the Comic-Con people that were as guests, they were given an area outside where they could go and hang out, but it was fenced off. No one was allowed to go in beyond this fence. It was quite strange, quite a bizarre.
Yeah.
Right. So we were eating our sandwiches, looking at the Comic-Con people all dressed in their outfits, but not allowed to actually go beyond this barrier. Very strange.
Well, that's the funny thing about Comic-Con. They've got all the stars, and some of them actually boarded off behind enclosures, and you can't get to see them unless you pay 50 quid or something. Yeah. And it's quite a strange concept.
It is a strange concept, isn't it? Those actors and what have you, they're basically just... They're there for the cash, man.
They're there for the cash, but the nice thing about this one, you were saying, is that you actually kind of, it was a little bit more open, wasn't it?
Well, it was just a bit. It felt a bit more immediate. It was slightly. I mean, it wasn't particularly smaller than the actual, the Comic-Con that we went to in London, but it was a bit more. It just had a nicer, vibe about it. Like I say, everyone was pretty much there for the same reason, and yeah, it was.
Massive fans of the movie.
Yeah.
It is such a great film.
Yeah.
There are so many great lines.
I'm just looking at your head. It's just right in his mouth. Where he bites the guy.
Don't bite me.
The guy with the bald head on the beach.
Yeah. That's a great scene. It that's where the movie takes a turn. Isn't it
does. Yeah, that's it.
Up until that point, it's quite easy going, and then all of a sudden the vampires feast.
Yeah, apparently they made that scene a lot more horrific, but they wanted to keep it sort of under the 18 radar sort of thing.
Is it 15?
Yeah, it's 15. Yeah.
Okay.
Probably wouldn't be a 15 now. Probably just be like PG or something, wouldn't it?
Probably. Yeah. Michael,
kids these
you gonna
days.
Drink it, Michael.
Yeah, that's
the
stuff. That's the stuff. Are you going to have some of that?
I might give it a go, yeah. Let me just polish off this water.
So we had a Halloween party the other night, and we made some very spicy shots.
Some chilies out of the garden.
If you want a glass instead.
Yeah.
I've got some chilies growing in my garden, and we decided to make a forfeit drink.
There's a lot of chilies in there.
But we actually quite enjoyed drinking it. It's got tomato
I feel
juice.
like I drank most of it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's brave. Yeah.
Vodka, tomato juice, and Carolina Reaper chilies.
Yeah, like you say, it's a spicy...
a little bit of blood.
little bit of blood.
Yeah.
That's a great bottle too. Where did you get this bottle?
That's from last year. Phill got that.
Okay.
Hell.
It is. Yes. It's a bottle from hell containing liquid from Satan's own arsehole by the sounds of it. Let's give it a go. Cheers, everybody.
You've got to down it.
Cheers.
No, that's really.
Yeah.
No, I'll take a shot's worth. How's that?
Yeah. You like spicy stuff?
I do.
Oh, you can handle your spice, can't you? Yeah.
Yeah, we had some years ago, a firefighter I work with decided to challenge everybody on the watch to a burger that he knew of in Brighton, and it contained this ridiculously strong chili sauce.
Yeah, I've heard about this. Yeah.
And anyway, so he brought it up and he put it on the middle of the table in the mess hall, which is where we have our food, and he said, right, who's going to eat this then? No one's going to eat it. You're all not going to do it. I said, yeah, I'll have a quarter. And someone else said, I'll have a quarter. And then someone said, I'll have a bite. So he divided it up into 4 quarters. I had this 1 quarter. And when you first ate it, it was okay. It was like, oh, it's not that spicy. It didn't really hurt that much. But it built and built.
Back of the throat.
Oh my God! You could feel it going down here, and then it started burning in your chest cavity somewhere, and that was when you knew you were in trouble, because it's only gonna get worse from there. This thing lasted for about 3 hours, and it just got more intense. And then when it's in the stomach, it was killing. It was absolutely.
Really?
It was horrible. It was horrible. You have to sign a disclaimer when you buy it in the cafe, to say that you won't hold them responsible if you have to go to hospital.
Jesus fucking Christ.
It is awful.
All right.
It's on the Millie Scoville, is it? Is that
Scoville rating.
Scoville rating? It's something like 9.
I can't remember what they are, but I mean, basically the strongest ones you can get are like the Carolina Reapers and things like that. And you can just take a tiny bit of that, put that on your tongue, just touch your tongue on it, and your mouth is burning.
Yeah.
So
Are those the ones you had though?
Yeah, I've got them in the garden. Yeah.
This was evil.
That's
Absolutely
evil.
evil.
That's got nowhere near as much as we're talking
No,
about.
no. This is very palatable.
It's all right, but for some people that's difficult.
Yeah, we didn't want to go
Makes
too
some
crazy.
people quite sick. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it can do. Yeah, straight to the toilet.
No doubt. Oh,
Yeah,
was
yeah.
it really?
Straight to the
But that
toilet.
was probably after a fair bit more. Drinking
the girls were drinking it as well, so we wanted to make sure
The girls
it
drinking
was.
In that case,
It was. Yeah, well, you can't. You've got to be palatable for all.
it's very tasty. But no, don't ever do that burger. And it didn't taste nice. It wasn't a nice chili taste at all.
Chemical. Tastes a bit chemically.
It was just evil. It just tasted wrong. And then this one guy was literally had his face buried in his mattress upstairs for about half an hour. I just couldn't figure out what he was doing. He was stood up with his head into the mattress, so like bent over like this. And it was just.
What was the reason?
He didn't know what to do with himself.
Okay.
He was in such pain.
And he got like showers and stuff.
He had showers, yeah.
You just like
Showers
just
can get
jump in the
Yeah.
shower.
Milk is yogurt.
What about a milk shower?
Milk shower.
Yeah. So quite a lot of milk was consumed, but it still didn't do a lot of good.
No, it doesn't.
Everyone was sick, and yeah, it wasn't good.
So, while we're talking about being a fireman, Simon's got some very interesting stories and some stories that
Have you got any ghost stories?
not
Fireman
ghost story, but particular
I'm still trying to figure out if I've got a fireman ghost
particular story
I don't
Tom
think
told
so.
me. What about the story you told me about in Soho? That sometimes a special member has to go out to serve the members of the Soho community
A special member has to go out to serve the special members of the
and
Soho
take
community.
a certain thing off a certain member.
Yes. So we get calls from the hospital quite a lot because they haven't got the tools or the savvy to get rings off of penises.
Yeah. And we're talking surgical steel, so it can't be cut.
A lot of them
very
are.
easily.
Yeah, most of them for some reason they use surgical
Why the hell would
steel.
they make them out of that?
I don't know. I've asked the question, why don't people wear plastic ones that could break easily? They're still strong enough to do the job.
What are they doing exactly?
Keeping your dick hard.
Yeah,
that
and they
it?
go over the balls as well. So you've got, it's just ridiculous. And then your member swells up with blood. It's horrible, isn't it?
What, don't you like a big strong penis? What's
No,
wrong with that?
not with a ring on it.
No, definitely. It's all right without a ring, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, so we get called along because we've got a couple of tools that we carry on one of our units called a fire rescue unit, I have used bolt croppers before, but it's a little bit scary.
On someone's hang on, I thought this was a one-time experience because I've heard of this story.
This happens a lot.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well,
okay.
I say a lot, but it happens quite regularly.
I thought there was a
who's going out for the cock ring? Simon's got his hand up. It's me. My turn. My turn.
You guys stay on the truck. I've got this. So yeah, I mean, it happens relatively regularly, and sometimes it's worse than others.
Oh Jesus, I can only imagine.
Normally it's one ring, but I have been to a drop. Yeah, you don't want to excite him anymore. Yeah. No, so there is a technique for removing the ring in the best way, and it depends. Usually, we've got something called a pedal cutter, which is used in car accidents for cutting. So obviously, when you're driving, you've got an accelerator pedal, right, or whatever. And if you have a head-on collision, then the foot can get trapped underneath the pedal.
Okay.
So we've got this thing. It's got a hand hydraulic pump, and it's the jaws gently close hydraulically, and they'll cut the metal on the pedal, and you can free the foot. But they're also very good for cutting cock rings. Yeah. Someone discovered somehow.
Yeah. So it just slowly cuts through it.
So you get, those lollipop sticks. They will shatter, yeah. Those lollipop sticks that you put under your tongue to keep the tongue up. You get one of those and wedge it between the penis and the ring, and then you get the cock ring cutter, which is a pedal cutter, and you gently clamp down, trying to leave the penis.
When you say you put it under your tongue, did you?
Not the penis. You got to lube it up somehow. I mean, come on. Don't get paid enough for that. That's just for fun.
Yeah.
And hopefully, eventually, that will break it. There are occasions when it doesn't work. I had one not too long ago where this gentleman had 12, I think it was, cock rings on at one time.
12 cock rings on at one time?
It was about this long.
Okay.
The amount of rings and everything.
How big was his dick then? Like,
it was so swollen. It was black as well.
Fuck.
We were called on because the doctors were fearing that they were going to have to surgically remove.
Oh Jesus fucking
possibly
Christ.
The penis.
Yeah.
No, but he was getting to the point they were going to have to operate, and so they were desperate. So our team, we ended up releasing with bolt croppers.
All 12.
All 12.
What, in a bit of a
we
rush?
started with a Dremel.
No, you didn't.
We had a Dremel.
Really?
Okay. It was getting very hot.
What's a Dremel? I don't know what a Dremel is. I'm
Tiny
assuming it's
little
some
rotating.
Yeah, it's like a little drill, but you put different attachments on it.
Okay.
It's tiny.
Fuck, man. This whole thing.
It's outrageous.
Yeah. It is
outrageous.
That's crazy.
But that's how diverse my job is. You never know. One day you go in and you might have something like this.
Do you ever get a cat out of a tree?
I have had cats in trees. Yeah, it's a weird one, right? We do get them. People still call us for that, but it's more. Yeah, we get some very unusual ones.
I mean, what kind? I mean, I can imagine, but what kind of state are these people in when they're are they just?
They're quite excited generally. These guys, they're extreme men, right? They like to do these things to get sexually aroused.
Yeah.
And so a lot of them are homosexual. Not saying all of them, but a lot of them are. Yeah. And so when we turn up, they're quite excited to see men in uniforms, and that's quite evident by their state. They're quite excited. And
that's funny.
It's quite a bizarre experience. I don't think we should have to do this work.
They must be scared, right? That they're going to lose the dick.
Well, at that point, I think the reality sets in when we're here with
when you
heavy tools. With heavy tools. I think up to that point they think, oh, they're going to put me to sleep. But no, they're fully awake when we're working on them. The funniest thing was this guy with 12. He had it had been nearly 24 hours. He had all these rings on there now.
Christ!
So he hadn't pissed in all this time.
Because he just obviously doesn't want to go to anyone. It's embarrassing, isn't it?
It's embarrassing. He's done it for his own sexual fantasy reasons, whatever. And then all of a sudden he's realising it's not coming off. These aren't coming off. I'm going to have to go and get some help. So as we're releasing the cock rings one by one, the blood's starting to return to the rest of it, and he's finding he needs to have a piss.
Yeah.
So the cock's starting to spit piss a little bit, which is quite amusing. Well, one of the nurse that was assisting us was starting to direct the penis towards us, And we're like, no. We're pushing it back to him, and the cock's getting pushed around a little bit. It's quite funny, but at the same time, it's a serious thing at the same time. But
no one's ever died from it, I guess. I mean,
I don't know. I don't know.
Probably have.
I imagine someone died of everything at some point.
Yeah, probably.
But yeah, that's one of the more surreal jobs that we have to encounter.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
you never forget those ones. They stay with you.
That's great. That's
difficult to tell my wife about them.
All right,
put it in the wank bank.
Yeah.
Later.
Keep
that's
that
what you can
on.
do, isn't it?
I'm pretty sure that's what you've done over the years. I always get asked lots of questions about.
I've never.
The cock ring thing.
I've always wanted to get you on here to talk about that, so I can have
Darren
it on video. So I can have it on video later on.
We should have started with that. To be honest, this Lost Boys shit.
No. We worked into it.
I love the Lost Boys.
But no, we've got to bring it back to Halloween or Halloween-natured things, seeing as it was close to Halloween.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm more intrigued about cock ring stories. To be honest with you,
that's it now for cock rings. We've done it. Ghosts.
Have you got any? We haven't got any.
We've said our ghost experiences on the last podcast.
Yeah, so it's your turn.
What have you got? Have you got any ghost stories?
Yes.
Anything?
I think as a child. So I don't know.
You think as a child?
I do think like a child. When I was younger, I had this experience, and I've since learned it probably isn't a ghost experience, but I woke up. Well, okay, so let's start from the beginning. So I've gone to bed as a child, and I had this experience.
I'm sorry, man. Yeah.
And
it's big.
And I had this feeling that something was hovering over me. Like this. And I'm sure I was awake, but I couldn't move. My arms were paralysed. And I'm thinking it's a dream, but I'm pretty...
I'm sorry.
There were no other men involved. It was purely just a dream, I believe. But no, it could have been a ghost. And anyway, and I couldn't move. I was paralysed, and I felt this presence leave me, and then eventually I could find, and there was nothing there.
Common thing, isn't it? To feel
I believe people have had
chest,
this. Didn't feel the pressure. I just felt like something was really close to me.
Not holding you down.
Not holding me down. But something was really close, and I wanted to move. I wanted to reach out or to strike it. I couldn't move. But then I felt the presence move away. Then I finally got my power back.
That's. I wouldn't dismiss that as possible. That as not happening. I know that people talk about the attribute UFO experiences to that. I can't remember the name of it. What is it? So basically, the most common one is that you wake up paralyzed and you feel that there's a presence in the room. Yeah. Like somebody standing at the bottom of the bed or something like that.
Werewolf.
Werewolf.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I could see a werewolf at the bottom in my spirit. I could see it.
You mentioned this in the first place.
I was coming to that. So I was in Cairns.
Yeah.
And I was sharing a room with 3 other people, right? And I was in my bed, and we'd been partying the night before. Don't get me wrong, there might have been things going on, and I remember waking up or thinking I was waking up, and there was a presence in the doorway. And I'm sure I've been dreaming about a werewolf. And all of a sudden, this was a werewolf in the doorway. And I'm like that. Jesus. I can't move. It's going to get me. It's going to eat me.
How old were you?
I was 24,
24.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Werewolves do exist.
Well, Phill likes werewolves.
They live amongst us.
like
you
werewolves.
look a bit like a werewolf, actually.
Yeah.
Have you had that?
That's all I'm going for. No one's actually said that before. Thank you.
Do you ever grow your eyebrows out a bit longer? I think it'd be a good werewolf.
Yeah, get the monobrow going. Oh, I'm sorry, that's you're killing me, man. Oh,
but yeah. So apart from that, I think all that part comes down to my first ever watching The American Werewolf in London, and how that movie just. Oh my God! It put the shits up me so bad.
As a child, you would.
As a child, I think I was like 11 or 12, and I was watching it on the sofa with my sister and her best mate, who was quite fit, and I couldn't finish watching the movie. The bit that really got me was down in Tottenham Court Road tube station.
Oh, did it? All right.
Because you saw it, I think, for the first time.
Yeah, it just steps out. Yeah.
Steps out a little bit, and you see it at the bottom of the escalator. That was it. I was gone on my BMX. I was down the road over to Shanklin Football Ground, which was just over the road for me.
It's probably the worst place to go there.
Yeah. Wow, there was a football match on.
Oh, right.
Oh, okay.
And Shanklin were playing at home, and I don't know who they were playing, but I remember hanging around near the Shanklin goalkeepers, near the net, near the goal. and thinking, if a werewolf comes here now, it's going to go straight for me. Everyone's going to fuck off. They're not going to. They're not going to try and help me. So so I started cycling around the football pitch,
just
thinking
case.
I've got a running start here. If I just keep cycling,
Yeah.
I'll tire him out.
I watched that film around the same age, well, maybe a bit younger, and the bit that got me was the where he's dreaming. And he wakes
the Nazis,
Nazi
zombies.
Yeah, not particularly that bit, but where he's in the forest,
and
he's kind of like,
he's
like
running,
yellow eyes, and he's sort of
like
that, and then he wakes up again, like he's woken up in the dream, and then he wakes up again, and then one of the Nazis comes through the window, right?
Does he not? Does he got a friend who comes to, and he's like a zombie kind of?
Yeah, Jack gets killed by the werewolf.
That bit was a bit scary.
That's great. That was funny though, wasn't it?
The comedy part.
Well, I didn't find the werewolves that scary. I found the guy. I don't know why. I thought the werewolves were a bit because perhaps because I liked Teen Wolf and all that. Because that was obviously
that's
scary.
Transformation. I mean, that's groundbreaking, wasn't it?
It was amazing.
Yeah.
Was it great? We said this before. It was the same people who did the Thriller. Michael Jackson, wasn't it?
Yeah, Michael Jackson then hired the guy. He hired the director to do Thriller, the Thriller video. Yeah, and I guess they used all the makeup people and stuff like that as well. But I was about to go watch that last week actually at the Prince Charles Cinema in around Leicester Square. It just plays old movies.
Yeah.
I went there and watched The Lost Boys. I was on a big roll that same week that I met them, and I was about to go watch American Werewolf in London and there, but a friend of mine came in from Finland and we went out and got drunk instead. But yeah, it's classic. And what I really like about that film is just when you look at it now, that whole at the end when they're showing like old Soho and stuff like that in the 80s, it's all sex shops and stuff. It just is like a really nice little time capsule of London as well.
Yeah, I mean, when I watched it, I didn't really know London, but watching it again now, I'd probably recognise a lot of stuff.
I wanted to go to the cinema. I was thinking that how fucking great would that be to watch that in that area, just, you know.
Yeah, true. Yeah, very true.
Because part of it's in Regent's Park, isn't it? He escapes into Regent's Park and he jumps in there.
Okay.
Remember that?
Yeah, is it the zoo as well, isn't he?
Yeah. That's it. The Regent's Park
Yeah.
Zoo. Great film.
Yeah.
Talking about films, did you get a top 10?
I did, but I think I'm finding let's not ruin it by talking about top 10 horror films. I think we've got much more entertaining things coming.
Top 10 Simon's top 10 story.
Top 10 rescues.
Yeah.
Top 10 rescues.
Well, I mean, Simon is our special guest, so I
Absolutely.
suppose.
Yeah.
I'm getting eaten again by a vampire.
What other rescues have you of note?
Of note. So, kind of talking about the unusual ones. So, we rescued a sausage dog from
penis.
From a werewolf.
It was from a werewolf. It was in a graveyard.
All right.
It was in a graveyard in Fulham. And we were called there because we've got something called a snake eye. And this is a snake eye for a gay guy. And it's a camera which you could put on a stem, carbon fibre stem, and you've got then a little control pad, like a little tablet thing. And you can see down the end of the camera.
Yeah.
So we got called on it for this. And basically this dog had gone into what was either a foxhole or a badger run or something on the outskirts of the graveyard. And they couldn't find where the sausage dog was. So we were called to have a fight to try and find this dog. Anyway, so the owner was there. And so we asked her, what sort of food does the dog like? She said sausages, funny enough.
Did she really?
Yeah, which is quite unusual, right, for a sausage dog. So we said, okay, can you go and buy some sausages, right? So this is after we'd had an initial scan with the snake eye into the hole. You could see the dog, but it was scared. I think the firefighters that had got there first had already started to cave in part of the hole, but the dog was going deeper into the warren or whatever it was. So we just gently went in with the camera and saw the dog there, and it was breathing heavily, but it was fine. So we sent this lady off to go and get some sausages to try and coax the dog out. But meanwhile, we started digging a bit more furiously to get the dog out. And with the snake eye, we could see approximately how deep into the warren it was. So then we got a shovel and dug a big hole through the surface down into it and just grabbed the dog and pulled it out, and it was absolutely fine.
All right.
The lady came back with the sausages and didn't need them.
So that's your favourite rescue of all time?
That was one of my unusual ones. A dog in a graveyard.
What are you doing with that, Phil? That's the wrong thing. Don't do that.
One, right?
Yeah.
We've had animals stuck in partition walls.
Alright, I'm just going to climb under this. Carry on.
But a seagull that was hanging by, I think it was, can't remember if it was hanging by its wing or by its foot, by some fishing wire.
A lot of animal rescues going on.
I'm sort of getting the animal ones out of the way.
Yeah.
Does anybody want one of these?
I'm okay with the wine for a moment, thanks.
Say snake eye.
Snake eye. That wasn't with the seagull, but with the dog. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a rod.
Yeah.
With one little camera on the end of it.
We've got it's a wand initially. You can hold it with your hand here.
A wand.
A wand. So you've got a hand grip, and it's about yay long, and you can put the camera on the end of that. But then there's also a retractable, extendable carbon fibre rod, like a fishing rod, which you can put it on. Its initial use is for if you have building claps, and you can sort of put the camera into small spaces.
Okay. Handy bit of equipment.
Very handy. Yeah, we do use it.
Oh, sorry, back to the seagull.
So the seagull was hanging by its wing or foot, I can't remember, off of a branch.
See, if I saw a seagull in trouble, I wouldn't phone the firemen thinking they're going to come out and save
Someone
it.
had called the RSPB, and the RSPB turned up and weren't able to rescue it, so they called us out.
For a seagull.
For a
Pain
seagull.
in the ass, those things are.
Yeah, but it's a creature. It's one of God's creatures, man.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
we don't discriminate who we save. So we were speaking to the RSPB and said we're not basically going to put a firefighter's life at risk climbing that tree and going out on a limb, literally, to try and rescue a seagull.
I'll show him my snake eye.
We then decided that we were going to not blast is the wrong word,
Right, okay.
but we got one of our 45mm jets off, and we aimed the jet near the seagull on the branch, hoping it would dislodge the seagull and it would then just fly away.
Okay.
That didn't work, so we blasted the seagull, and it landed in the river, and then it floated off quite happily. It didn't fly straight away.
Okay.
But we released it from the branch, much to the.
I would have thought that would have just killed it.
It wasn't. It was fine. We've got different size hoses, right?
Yeah.
45mm is a bit smaller than we have 70mm as well.
Okay.
That stuff is proper heavy duty.
You didn't use that one.
Didn't use that one, no. But it was enough to release the seagull from its bondage, and off it went. Hopefully survived a little bit longer.
Yeah, but I mean, you must have some. I mean, I've obviously I don't think you'd want to talk about any horrific things, but I mean, you've got to really take the whole job with a certain attitude, right?
Yeah,
I don't know. You must deal with some horrific circumstances as well.
Yeah. I think we work well as a team, and we deal with lots of different things. So it's a really there's lots of variety in the job. So 1 minute we'll be going and trying to release people that have accidentally fallen onto the train tracks or have tried to end their life on purpose. So sometimes we go down that, and sometimes we're successful and we release them.
Well, how do you mean release them? Like, they get caught up in that?
They can get caught up, an arm or a leg could get caught in the axle.
Okay.
Or actually under a wheel of a train.
Okay. Jesus.
Most of the time they're deceased when we get there.
Oh, fucking hell.
There are times that they're alive, and we work hard to release them. And then...
Does that happen often?
Quite a lot.
Does it?
Yeah. January is a bad month for it.
Okay.
A lot of people get quite down after Christmas, and that's quite a popular month for people to use that way of trying to finish it all.
Yeah.
But which is not good for the train drivers, right? You can imagine that's pretty traumatic for them.
Yeah. Traumatic for you as well.
Yeah. You know what? It's to try and release someone that's deceased is not as bad as trying to rescue someone that you are pretty sure is not going to make it that's alive, because then you've got that knowledge there that you're talking to someone that's likely to be dead soon.
Yeah,
it's quite tough.
Yeah.
But we had a car accident once on New Year's Day, and a girl and a guy had been driving back from a party. She'd lost control of the car and driven head on into a tree. This was near Brixton, and her hips had come out and gone through the seat where she'd hit the tree with such impact. Very beautiful girl, I think she was a model. She was talking to us with morphine and everything, and we knew she wasn't going to survive.
Oh, Jesus!
The paramedics had told us that this was a terminal thing.
Jesus!
And so you're talking to her. Yeah, you're going to be fine. We released her, got her out, but she didn't survive.
Fucking hell!
That's tough. Yeah, that's tough. But it's part of the job, right?
Yeah.
That's what we get paid the big bucks for.
Yeah.
Not really.
Yeah.
No. But then you make the odd rescue that makes you feel really good too, and people survive and they commend you and tell you what a great job you've done.
It can be very rewarding, can't it?
Yeah.
Do you actually deal with fires? Like, how is that? Is that just wonder, because like a lot of the things I've heard you talk about is
fire and rescue is what we are.
Yeah.
But yeah, fire is, obviously for people is becoming less of an issue these days because we put early warning systems into place, like fire alarm systems. So we have less fires than we used to when I joined the job 18 years ago. So that sounds weird saying it like that. 18 years, man. It's gone so fast. But we don't have so many. Little fires, you'll never stop the cars getting a light. You'll never stop motorbikes, kids setting light to things. That'll probably always happen. But premises fires, generally speaking, the properties are much safer. People are more educated, so they don't. They're not so careless in certain situations.
Nice save there. Yeah.
We can say what we want on here, right?
Well, yeah. Why not?
No, but no, it's we don't get so many fires anymore, which is a shame because you're getting trained to deal with all that. But it's just the way it's evolving, isn't it? Our job is evolving. We're now doing more rescue. We're trained to do line rescue, so we abseil with line, and we rescue people like that, people that drop into holes or need rescuing from holes, that type of thing.
Okay, yeah.
Cranes, that type of stuff. So it's evolving. We're more rescue than fire probably these days.
But
sounds like
you love it though, right? Like you've been doing it 18 years.
Yeah. No, it's a great job, and I think it's still a career job. People are going into it and just doing it for a few years, then changing and doing something else. But it's still
you must
a great
get to a
career
certain
job.
age when you think, well, some people, if they don't keep fit, you keep yourself fit. But some people will get around, the 50, 60 mark. I mean, what age should you retire?
Yeah, well, what age should you retire? That's a very good question. Obviously, in an office job, people are probably fit to work until they're 70 these days. In a physical job like this, even if you're not going on to physical jobs all the time, you've got to be ready for it.
Could you just do cockrings?
Could I?
Yeah.
I'd love to just do no, I wouldn't. It's an awful job. It's it's very hands-on, and that's only good for one person in this. I don't know.
What's the average age of a fireman retiring?
No. Sorry, that's a different thing. Your people. So it changed not so long ago to 40 years of service or 60, but there were certain firefighters that were what's called ring fenced, so they were able to retire at an earlier age because they were on a previous pension. So this is a bit of a point at the moment because we've just won a court battle that we should be able, those that were on the old pension scheme that were taken off of it and we had to sign on to a new one, then we're hopefully going to get the old pension scheme back again because it was unfairly changed.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. So whether we're going to get put onto the old pension scheme as it was, whether it's going to be a slightly different pension scheme to the one we were kind of forced to go on to, that remains to be seen. But hopefully, I was planning to work until 60 anyway. I joined quite late at 31.
Okay.
A lot of guys join at 18 when they first, for finish college or whatever.
Just to mention, previous to that, you were a hairdresser, right?
Many moons ago.
Yeah.
But previous to joining the
contrast.
fire service, I was a scuba diving instructor.
Okay. Oh, yeah. All right. Yeah.
But I was a hairdresser from the age of school leaving until 24.
Yeah. No, but I just think that's a really interesting contrast. No, it is.
It is.
But I just want to thank Simon for coming over to it this evening. Don't pour another drink. We're finished now. You got to go.
Well, I can finish this on the way home on my bicycle.
Yeah,
I'm getting bitten again by a vampire.
So, no, but we'd both like to thank you for coming over.
I would like to thank you.
And telling us stories about being a fireman. They're very
Don't
interesting.
put words in my mouth, man.
Well, you won't be putting anything else in your mouth, so... Go on. Sorry.
God.
Go on.
The childishness.
Go on.
really
So what do you want to
enjoyed
say?
being
What do you want to say to Simon?
What do I want to say to him?
I'm not going to put words in your mouth.
Thank you. Thank you
My
for coming.
pleasure, boys.
Simon, nice to see you.
You know
Haven't
what?
seen you in a while.
I've been watching you on YouTube, watching your podcast.
Yeah, with the thousands of others that watch us.
Yeah.
And I've been very much enjoying it. So
Zero
to
link.
be part
Would
of
you call
this-
it links?
Link.
Zero
on
link.
YouTube.
Oh, right, okay. Linking to it, yeah.
And I've been thoroughly enjoying them. I like the fact you guys are talking about stuff that I find interesting. So to be part of this is really exciting.
Dream come true.
It is a dream come true.
High five.
Woo!
Yeah,
High five.
thanks, man.